What if I told you that the single most important relationship in your life isn't with your family, your friends, or your boss, it's with yourself? How you show up for yourself every single day shapes your reality, your potential, and your happiness. Showing up for yourself is not about selfishness. It's about respect, commitment, and love for the person who will always be with you. Today, I want to share 5 powerful ways to show up for yourself daily. These aren't abstract ideas. They are practical, grounded, and transformative actions that can change your life from the inside out. Imagine your mind as a vast garden, the soil from which every thought, every decision, every action grows. Now, if that soil is cluttered with weeds, noise, fear, doubt, how can anything meaningful take root? How can anything truly flourish? This is the challenge we face every day. We rush through life, our heads spinning with endless to-do lists, worries about the future, regrets from the past. We fill our mental space with constant chatter, leaving no room for clarity or calm. But what if we decided right now to change that, to protect and prioritize the soil of our minds? It starts with a simple but radical act, carving out space for ourselves each day, even if it's just 5 minutes. 5 minutes to step away from the noise. 5 minutes to breathe deeply, to be present, to simply be. Whether it's meditation, journaling, or sitting quietly with your breath, these moments are not luxuries. They are necessities. They are the pause that allows our mental clutter to settle, revealing the fertile ground beneath. This is where intention is born, where we reconnect with who we really are beneath the chaos. Think about the story of someone who reached this understanding. A woman who seemed to have it all but hit a breaking point. Burnout wasn't just about working too hard. It was about neglecting the most essential part of herself, her mental well-being. When she finally committed to prioritizing her sleep and mindfulness, something remarkable happened. The fog lifted, her mind cleared, her productivity didn't just improve, it soared. Her life transformed because she honored the need for rest and mental space, recognizing that without it, everything else falls apart. This story isn't just about one person. It's a reflection of what happens when we choose to honor our inner worlds. Prioritizing your mental space daily is a declaration, a powerful statement to yourself and the world: I am worthy of peace. It's an act of courage in a culture that values busyness and constant output over quiet reflection and presence. When you give yourself permission to slow down and listen deeply, you open the door to your true self. You stop reacting to the noise around you and start responding with clarity and purpose. What would happen if you began each day by tending to your mental garden? What new ideas might sprout? What doubts might wither away? How would your relationships deepen if you approached them from a place of centered calm rather than scattered stress? The power to transform your life is not in working harder or pushing longer. It's in creating the conditions for growth to happen naturally. Your mental space is where your deepest creativity, resilience, and joy emerge. It's where your values align with your actions, where your vision becomes clear and achievable. Protecting it means honoring your humanity. It means showing up as your best self, not because you force it, but because you nurture it. And the beauty of it is this: the more you prioritize your mental space, the more you realize that peace isn't something you find out there. It's something you grow from within. So take that moment, breathe, clear the clutter, nourish your mind, because when you do, you don't just change your day, you change your life. Imagine for a moment that your life is a precious sanctuary, a space where your energy, your passions, and your purpose reside. Now, consider what it means to be the guardian of that sanctuary. Not the kind of guardian who builds impenetrable walls to shut everyone out, but the kind who thoughtfully chooses what crosses the threshold. Boundaries are not barriers meant to isolate you from others, they are gates, carefully crafted to protect what matters most inside: your energy, your values, your peace. Too often, we confuse boundaries with selfishness or coldness. We think that saying no will disappoint someone, create conflict, or paint us as difficult. But the truth is, saying no is one of the most courageous and loving things you can do for yourself. It is an act of clarity, a declaration that you are the steward of your own life. When you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what fuels your spirit, You reclaim control over your time, your focus, and your energy. Think about the times when you felt overwhelmed or exhausted, not because the world was too loud or demanding, but because you forgot to honor your own limits. It's easy to fall into the trap of endless yes, always trying to please others, keep up, or avoid confrontation. But that endless giving without protection is not sustainable. It chips away at your strength, your creativity, and your joy. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls, it's about creating space for what truly matters. There's profound strength in the simple act of saying no. It takes more guts to protect your energy than to push yourself to exhaustion just to keep others happy. When you set boundaries, you are not rejecting people, you are prioritizing your well-being. This act shows that you value yourself enough to stand firm, to say, I matter, and my health, happiness, and values matter. Every time you honor your boundaries, you send a message to yourself and the world that your life is worth protecting. You become the person who leads with intention rather than reaction. You stop being a passive participant in your own story and become its author. And with that comes a deep, unshakable confidence that can change everything. It's not just about personal well-being either. Boundaries create clarity and respect in relationships. They teach others how to treat you because you demonstrate how you want to be treated. When you refuse to let others overstep, you model strength, dignity, and self-respect. People may test your boundaries, but with consistent care and conviction, those boundaries become the foundation for healthier, more authentic connections. Remember, setting boundaries is an ongoing practice, not a one-time event. It requires awareness and courage to continually protect what's sacred inside you, but the rewards, freedom, energy, respect, are worth every difficult conversation, every uncomfortable no, every moment of standing your ground. So choose to be the guardian of your life. Choose to protect your time, your energy, your values with the fierceness of someone who knows that they are worth it. In doing so, you not only transform your own life, but inspire others to do the same. Because when we all set boundaries, we create a world where respect, intention, and care are the norm, a world where everyone can show up fully, without fear or compromise. We live in a world that worships the grand, the spectacular, the headline-making moments. We wait for the big announcements, the major victories, the break-through achievements to feel worthy or successful. But what if the real power, the real magic, lies not just in those big milestones, but in the small, quiet steps we take every single day? Imagine the journey to greatness not as a sudden leap, but as a series of small, deliberate acts, each one building momentum, each one shaping who we become. Think about an athlete preparing for a marathon. No one wakes up one morning and suddenly runs 2 miles. It starts with that very first step, that first hesitant run. It's the decision to show up day after day, early mornings when the world is still quiet, when the temptation to stay in bed is strongest. It's the choice to fuel the body with nutritious meals, the commitment to push through the moments when doubt creeps in, when muscles ache, and the mind whispers, maybe today isn't the day. Every small win, every mile logged, every healthy meal chosen, every moment of persistence compounds. These aren't just actions, they are declarations. Declarations that you believe in yourself, that you are capable of growth, and that your dreams matter. Yet we often forget to acknowledge these small wins. We look past them, dismissing them as insignificant compared to the real success ahead. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of something powerful, the fuel that drives us forward. Each small victory is like a spark. When we pause and celebrate it, we ignite a flame within ourselves. That flame grows into motivation. It strengthens resilience. It reminds us that progress is happening, even when it feels slow or invisible. And it teaches us to appreciate our journey, not just the destination. When we recognize and honor these moments, something remarkable happens inside us. Confidence grows, self-love deepens. We stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress. We learn to trust in our ability to keep moving forward, even when the path is steep or uncertain. The small wins become the building blocks of a mindset that says, I am enough, I am capable, I am worthy. This isn't just about individual achievement. It's about creating a culture where showing up for yourself is celebrated every day. It's about shifting our focus from the elusive big win to the steady rhythm of progress. Because real success isn't just about the destination, it's about the courage it takes to keep going, the resilience built by every small win, and the self-respect earned along the way. So celebrate those moments. The extra effort you put in when no one's watching, the progress made when things feel hard, the choice to get up, try again, and believe in yourself just a little more than yesterday. These are the wins that matter. These are the wins that transform dreams into reality, and these are the wins that remind us all that the journey, with all its small victories, is worth celebrating every single day. Showing up for yourself is one of the most radical acts of self-respect you can commit to. It's a choice to say, I am worth the time, energy, and focus it takes to grow. But growth isn't about being perfect. It isn't about having all the answers or never making mistakes. It's about the courage to stay curious, to lean into discomfort, and to keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain. Growth demands vulnerability. It asks you to step into the unknown, to embrace failure as a teacher, and to recognize that every stumble is a step forward. It's easy to want quick results, to crave the safety of what you already know. But real transformation happens when you push beyond those boundaries. It's in those moments of struggle that you discover what you're truly capable of. Think about the power of a single commitment, the decision to invest in yourself every day. What does that look like? Maybe it's reading a few pages of a book that challenges your perspective. Maybe it's signing up for a course that stretches your skills. Or maybe it's simply sitting with your own failures and learning how to rise again stronger. Each action, no matter how small, is a declaration. My growth matters, my potential matters. Look at Malala Yousafzai. She faced unimaginable dangers, yet she refused to let fear silence her. Despite everything, she invested in her education, in her voice, in her vision for a better world. Her investment wasn't about immediate reward. It was about believing in a future where her voice could create change. That belief transformed not only her life, but the lives of millions who now stand inspired by her courage. Her story reminds us that growth isn't a destination. It's a daily practice. It's a willingness to show up, to keep learning, to keep evolving even when the odds seem stacked against us. When you invest in your growth, you're not just building skills or gaining knowledge. You're affirming your worth. You're telling the world that you matter enough to keep striving, to keep dreaming, and to keep becoming. The discomfort you feel when you step out of your comfort zone isn't a signal to stop. It's a sign that you're growing. It's a signal that you're stretching the limits of what you thought possible, and that growth ripples outward. It impacts your relationships, your work, your community. When you commit to your own development, you light a path for others to follow. So, what does investing in yourself really mean? It means treating your potential like the precious resource it is. It means dedicating time, energy, and love to becoming who you were always meant to be. It means believing that your growth is not only possible but necessary, not just for you, but for everyone who will benefit from the best version of you showing up in the world. Every moment you invest in your growth is a moment you claim your future. It's a powerful choice to say, I'm here, I'm learning, I'm becoming. And in that choice lies the unstoppable force that can change your life, and maybe, just maybe, change the world. Showing up for yourself means embracing every part of your journey, especially the moments when you stumble, falter, or fall short of the expectations you set. So often, we carry this heavy burden of perfectionism, an unrelenting inner voice that criticizes, condemns, and shames us when things don't go as planned. We treat ourselves harsher than we ever would treat a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger. But what if the way we respond to our own failures could change everything? What if kindness, genuine, unconditional kindness toward ourselves, was the most revolutionary act we could commit? Imagine for a moment the way a loving parent cares for a child who trips and falls. The child doesn't get scolded or berated. Instead, there is a soft voice that says, "It's okay. You're learning. You're growing. Get up. I'm right here with you." That warmth, that patience, that unwavering belief in the child's ability to rise again. What if we granted ourselves that same grace? The simple act of treating yourself with compassion isn't just a feel-good notion, it's a powerful force that heals wounds and restores strength. When we practice compassion toward ourselves, we create space for healing. We stop the endless cycle of blame and self-punishment, and instead, we begin to see our mistakes not as failures but as part of a larger story, a story of courage, persistence, and human imperfection. This shift changes everything. It empowers us to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult, even when the weight of our own expectations feels unbearable. Research confirms what our hearts already know. Self-compassion reduces stress, alleviates anxiety, and strengthens mental health. When you forgive yourself, you break free from the chains of past mistakes. You free your mind to focus not on what went wrong, but on what you can do next. Compassion opens the door to resilience. It fuels the fire of perseverance. Embracing your imperfections isn't about settling or lowering your standards. It's about recognizing that being human means being flawed, and in those flaws lie the seeds of growth, creativity, and authenticity. When you stop fighting yourself, you gain clarity and energy to pursue your dreams with renewed passion. You become a source of encouragement not only for yourself, but for those around you. So, next time you feel that familiar sting of self-judgment creeping in, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, how would I treat someone I love if they were in my shoes? Then, give yourself that same kindness. Forgive the missteps. Hold yourself gently. Keep moving forward, step by step, with compassion as your guide. Because showing up for yourself is the bravest, most beautiful thing you can do. It's the foundation of everything you want to build, the wellspring of your true strength. Showing up for yourself daily is a radical act. It's a choice to honor your worth, nurture your soul, and champion your dreams no matter the noise around you. Start today, prioritize your mind, set your boundaries, celebrate your journey, invest in your growth, and above all, be gentle with yourself, because when you show up fully for yourself, you ignite a light that not only transforms your life but inspires those around you. You are worth it. Show up like you believe it.